Hi everyone, welcome back. This video is a follow-up to the three-part series to set up a secure validator for Polkadot or Kusama. It covers some things that I learned along the way. The 3 points today would be faster node syncing, reducing storage requirements using pruning, and of course the Ansible, adjusting the Ansible template that generates the service file. I took these 3 points because I find that these are things that are asked fairly often in the support channel. And for those who are not, who don't know, that I'm Paradox, so I am there lending support. So without further ado, let us go into point number 1. All right, before we get into the actual console commands and configuration, let's do a quick check as to how quickly the node is syncing. This is the number in the background. I'm going to pull up a clock, and at 10 seconds I'm going to record 7969 minus, and then I wait to the 20-second mark, 8265. Okay, so that's about 296 blocks. Again, not exactly scientific. I know there was a little delay, but it's just for an example. So we have 296. I'm going to write that down. Great. So now let's take a look at the configuration. To do so, we just need to adjust the service file and add in one flag. We do sudo nano /etc /systemd /system /polkadot.service, enter, and anywhere around here I'm going to paste it in. All the commands would be found in the comments below. Okay, so the command is --wasm-execution space compiled, and we end it with a slash. Control X, yes, enter. Okay, we would need to reload the file, service file, so we use that command sudo space systemctl daemon reload. Once reloaded, we want to restart the service, so we do sudo systemctl restart polkadot.service, enter. It disappears from telemetry in the background, and let's hope it pops up very quickly, and it does. Okay, I put up my clock. When it reaches 30, I'm going to record. 5605. I'm just taking the last 4 digits, and at 40 we stop. 8315. Okay, so that's 2710, and if I divide that by 296, we're looking at about 9 times. Right, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so I mean, if you put that into perspective, you know, it can certainly cut down the time that you need to sync your validator, right? So good tip, and you know, it can get you up and running much faster. Now, just one point, this puts a little more strain on your CPU, so you would want to definitely, it's highly recommended that once you're fully synced, you remove this flag from your config, right? So you put that in your checklist. Once you're fully synced, remove this flag. Okay, great. So we're going to check that one off. And the next one we're going to look at is reducing the storage requirements using pruning. Now, the storage requirements, actually you would find that you may go over 100 gigs, depending on if you're doing a full node or an archive node or whatever the case may be. If you want to maintain a smaller footprint, you can use pruning, and the pruning really is maintaining the last set of blocks, X amount of blocks, and the recommended amount is 1,000. If you just want to keep the last 1,000 blocks, you can run as a validator without any issues. There are two things that you may not, two scenarios where you may find that you wouldn't want to use this approach. One is certainly if you're doing a project that involves, let's say, some kind of block explorer, or something that you need to use the historical block data. This may not be the ideal. This definitely won't be the route that you would take. And there is sort of a kind of philosophical aspect of things, decentralization and being able to rebuild from scratch, with just one node. Obviously, if in those apocalyptic scenarios, you definitely want to maintain, a full node or an archive node, and to help others along the way who are now starting up their own nodes. They would need that historical data. So you draw your comparisons. I mean, if you just want to run a validator on a VPS and you want to keep your storage space down, this is the thing for you. So the first thing that we would need to do, we would need to stop the existing instance. And if you're doing this from the absolute beginning, then including the options in your config file and then starting the validator, that can work. If you already have an existing database like we have now with a few blocks in, we need to stop the service, kill the database, put in the flags, and restart the database. So we're going through those steps now. So stop the service, sudo systemctl stop polkadot.service, right? It disappears in the background. We are going to remove the database. I have the command copy pastable again in the comments, sudo rm-rf/home/polkadot. That's important. I made that mistake myself. That's the user that runs as the service runs as. local/share/polkadot chains polkadot-db. Quite long, but you'll just be copy pasting. Enter, and that's gone. So now I'm going to hit up a few times, which goes through our command history until I get the sudo nano, and I'm going to do the edit. And just below, I'm going to paste in 2 lines, which as well would be in the comments. Great. Control X, Y, enter. And now we do sudo systemctl start polkadot.service. Oops, it tells me that I needed to reload the file, so I do sudo. I'm going to copy, paste. I think I got it. Right, it reloads it, and then I am going to restart the service. It started up in the background, but just to make sure everything's okay, we kill him. And we wait. Now I found that it does take a little while after you delete the database, so it is expected. And if you remove the flags, obviously you would need to delete the database as well, and restart. So when you're transitioning from, let's say, a prune state to another state, or back and forth, you definitely need to delete the database. I'm just going to do a quick check. CTL status Polkadot Oh, I know what happened. Right, so when I do that, I'm going to see this yellow thing to the bottom. It tells me that there's a problem. So what happened is that before I reloaded the file, it ran. So it started to generate some information. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back up. And I'm going to execute the kill database. That wipes the database. And now I'm going to restart the service. And it starts up. So, I mean, we had an issue, but we worked through it. If you use the status command, so we use sudo systemctl status polkadot.service, it tells us, you know, what's the current status. And we can look at our flags. If we hit the right button, we can go and we can actually see I did -name, and it puts the name, the validator, public IP, all those things. So you can, if you're not familiar with these things, you got a bonus. All right, it's clear. All right. So let's check that one off. All right, so something I'm going to demonstrate now is we made those changes to the service file. So I go to the Ansible folder. Right, and I am going to run the setup. So let us consider that there was a new version that was released, and you're deploying your new update. You edited your inventory.yml file, and you're ready to go, and you made changes to your config, your service file, and all of a sudden it's blank. It's erased. All your changes are gone. So that's exactly what's going to happen when I run setup.sh, because it's going to override what's the service file that exists. So I'm going to just demonstrate that. Okay, I'm putting in all these passwords. I have to do it again. There we go. Alright, so we're going to give it some time to do what it has to do. And this is just to demonstrate that we are going to have our service file overwritten. Before I open up the service file, I'm just going to amend my IP just to make sure, you know, a little extra security on my end. Although this is a sandbox, at the end it's terminated, it's, you know, wiped. So very soon we should see something that tells us that there's going to be a change. There it is, yellow. Changed, and it says that's the creates Polkadot service file. Okay, great. So it's completed, and it tells us, you know, everything is okay. It skipped some stuff, but it changed one. So that is an indicator for us to take a look. So I am going up, up, up. That goes through my history. Okay, I thought it would have been a lot closer. Right, so this is a sudo nano. I'm just going across. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I'm going to open this up. I just wanted to make sure my public IP wasn't there. And as we can see, all of our changes we have gone. So what we need to do is edit the file that generates this service file. Okay, so we need to get that edited, and we rerun the script, and it should come back in. So it really helps us with those long-standing flags that we want to keep on the service file. So how do we do that? I'm going to get you the folder. Right, so we go to CD, and I'm going to paste this. Of course, the wrong thing pasted. Okay, so I'll just copy. I'll just manually navigate. So we go to CD. Rules. Polkadot validator templates and the file that we want to edit is the polkadot.service.j2, and of course this will be in the comments below. So we do sudo nano polkadot j2, we open it up, and it looks fairly familiar where we have the name. This is the name we entered. This is where that whole -sv validator thing comes, and this generates a 0. So anything in the double curved brackets, we can it's generated from a variable. So I'll just take a little area here, and I'm going to put in all the flags that we discussed before. Okay, I'm just going to neaten it a bit. Okay, I'm going to hit Control X, Y, enter. Great, I'm going to clear the screen, and we go up, 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 right. I'm going to clear it again, and we're back to where we can run setup.sh. We put in a slew of passwords. Okay, and we wait, and we wait. We should get the same issue, the same error, or I wouldn't call it an error. We should get the same information or warning that, you know, yep, changed on the service file. Okay, so the validator is starting in the background. I'm going to do the sudo nano /etc/system/system/polkadot.service. I'm going to hide it because my public IP is there, but I'll bring it back quickly. Okay, right, and as we can see, we have the flags. They came back up. So if you have anything special in here, it is highly recommended that you edit the template file to put in those extra flags, and you have that pristine so that whenever you do an update, you don't need to worry. Now, if you have a separate file like the kusama.service, as I had used during my tutorial to set up a separate instance, that file is not overwritten. So this is just for that main polkadot.service file. That is the one that will be overwritten. Okay, so I'm going to do the check, and that's it. See you on the next one. And if you want to help me out, feel free to nominate my validators. I'll put all the links for the validators below. Competitive commission rates once the W3F is not nominating me. Okay, take care. Bye bye.